Hi, everyone. I hope you can see me. Yes. Hello. Sorry about that. Right. Here's the thing. Welcome to the Renovation and Outdoor Living Show. It's Friday, November the 20th today. And the reason why I'm a bit flustered is because I've just flown down to the beautiful Hawke's Bay, and that's where I'm coming live from, in fact. And I've just set up. I've almost missed it by the skin of my teeth. So everyone else involved today I'm in the, I think it's the Hastings Club. It's like the social club. It's look, watch this. Look, if we go over here. So this is a bit weird, but it's nothing to do with renovations. But here we go. Look, here's all the lads having a drink in the Hastings Social Club, and there's the bookies just over there. And I've just hidden away in this corner of the dining room. So anyway, right. Such as the joys of a live webinar. Now, it's not because we were taking the Renovation and Outdoor Living Show on the road again. This is because I'm here because I'm hosting tonight's Hawke's Bay Business Awards dinner. But it is still no doubt a step up from where were we last time I wasn't at home? Oh, car park just off State Highway 1 in the rain. So it's certainly a step up. Here, the sun's shining. Life feels fantastic despite having to wear a COVID mask on the plane down this morning. That's one of the new rules here in New Zealand, of course. So last week we were talking extending your home. Surely the most expensive renovation project most of us will ever take on. So it needs a lot of forethought, it needs a lot of planning. It certainly needs a lot of expert help. And that's what Refresh Renovations project manager Tom Matthews was talking to us about. He was telling us what to focus on, starting with looking at the purpose of an extension, why you're doing it, and can you actually design it to meet that purpose, then moving on to that design consideration before drawing up a concept and costing plan. You do it right, well, you've just added untold value to your lifestyle in your home, and of course, following that value to your home itself when you eventually sell it on in capital gains. So to today, well, we're going to announce the winner of our Weber Baby Q1000 barbecue. That was given to us by Outdoor. So we'll tell you who's won that in a few minutes' time. And well, if you didn't know, yesterday was World Toilet Day. You should have known. If you didn't, now you do. November the 19th, of course, is World Toilet Day. Should be in everyone's calendar. So we've got a World Toilet Day giveaway at the end of today, at the end of the Today Show. And actually, we decided that because yesterday was World Toilet Day, let's talk about toilets. Let's make it our topic for the day, because there's actually quite a lot to consider when it comes to selecting your toilet, the design of the practicalities, and of course the actual installation itself. So we decided to get hold of Mark Little, who we've met before. Mark's talked taps to us before from Robertson Bathware. He's national housing manager for Robertson Bathware. He's been in the industry for over 30 years in retail and supplier sectors, as well as during that time owning and operating a housing company franchise with his wife. And as I said, we've met him before talking taps. Mark, really good to see you again today. I hope you're well. What is that shirt behind you in the frame there, mate?
I know. We didn't have an Argentinian one, Rawdon, so yeah.
Yeah, you just stir the pot.
Give the Aussies their due. They played reasonably well against us, so.
Yeah, no, it's certainly made for an exciting Tri-Nations, hasn't it? So anyway, from the All Blacks going down the toilet to toilets, let's talk about the latest. What is seriously, a toilet's a toilet, but that's so not true, is it?
No. So toilets have changed over the years too, Rawdon. So as technology advances in every industry, and that's tapware, toilets, and everything else in the bathroom, and our flushing, our usage of water has changed over the years as well. So we used to have 9 litres full flush and 6 litres half flush. Then we went down to 6 litres and 3. Now we're down to 4.5 full flush and 3 litre half flush. So things have to change, and the technology and the flushing mechanisms of toilets have changed over the years as well. So we've seen a lot of changes within the way that the toilets work, the design of the actual bowl shape, etc. So on screen now you'll see, yep.
No, carry on, Mark. Tell us what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so what we're looking at on the screen there is the new American Standard rimless toilet. So that's a new technology that American Standard have brought out. And in the industry, a lot of people are talking about rimless toilets or open rim toilets. This is another extension of what people are talking about. So a rimless toilet, this is what we call a true rimless toilet, because there's actually no overhang at the top of the bowl. So this is completely open, very hygienic, easy to clean. So you have a side projection and a rear projection from the actual bowl that creates a vortex within the bowl to wash things away, or wash all your nasties away. And then with the American.
So this is about hygiene. This is a hygiene factor to stop all those germs being able to get trapped under the rim.
Yeah, definitely. So in the past, we've had what you call boxed rim. So it was an enclosed rim with holes underneath the underside of the rim. So you could always get some nasties in there, obviously, as you say. The other thing with the open rim is that the American Standard product has what we call an aqua ceramic material, which basically gives you a stain repellent finish. So again, it's hygienic, easy to clean. And these new finishes kill 99% or 99.9% of germs or anything that can harbour in that bowl. It's very effective in keeping the bowl nice and clean and hygienic for your family.
That's amazing. So the two big innovations are as you say, it's about the amount of water being used. Therefore, the technology to be able to do a better clean with less water is quite. We used to just put a brick in it into the cistern, didn't we, to reduce the amount of water we needed to use. And I live in Auckland. It's a genuine concern, the amount of water we use to flush the toilet each time. And then this amazing feature, that the hygiene factor. Talking of hygiene, am I right in thinking that a lot of people are suddenly beginning to bring bidets back? Something my children have never heard of, but they're beginning to see. And we say, well, it used to be just the French, but now we're seeing them in our homes.
Yeah, and variations of the bidets too, Rawdon. So we've now got e-bidet seats, which can be attached to particular models of toilets to give you a complete bidet and a toilet all in one. So we're seeing a lot of these come into the market as well. So the features of this particular product that we see on screen there, it's the American Standard e-bidet, which can fit a number of our standard toilets. It's a retrofit toilet seat, so you don't have to replace the whole toilet. We also have an easy fitting template for the fitting of the toilet that makes fitting a breeze. This particular toilet is fully compliant with every code in New Zealand, including the electrical safety standards. Now, what I need to warn a lot of consumers about is just because something's cheap doesn't mean that it's better than anything else. So buyer beware when you're searching for these particular products in our country, that they are fully compliant, that you don't need to add anything else to it, and that you don't need to maintain them over a period of time outside the norm, which could cost you extra dollars.
So there are some slightly shifty versions of this around, are there, Mark?
Yeah, there's a lot of products that come into our country, Rawdon, and some are compliant, some aren't. So just buyer beware. Just ask the questions. At the end of the day, nobody wants somebody to buy a product and then find out that either it's not compliant, it doesn't pass the codes set down by the electrical standards or the plumbing industry, and you don't want something that's going to have a very minimal warranty as well. So just do your homework. Make sure you're buying a reputable brand from a reputable company, and you'll be laughing.
Yeah. So ring Robertson's basically, but so because you don't want it to be defective, do you, mate? You don't want to be sitting there enjoying a quiet time with your newspaper, and the bidet feature decides to start working on you, because it would give you one heck of a shot, wouldn't it? I mean, it's so. What on a serious note, what sort of cost are you talking about for a decent e-bidet? What would that cost to get it to purchased and installed?
I'm not sure about the installation costs. It really depends on what's involved with what you've already got. Taking the toilet out, replacing the toilet if necessary, putting the e-bidet seat on. But the e-bidet seat is around $700 odd, I think, $800. You caught me on that one, to be honest, Rawdon.
No, that's all right, but I still think that's great, because we can work out the costs for yourself, because the reality is you're probably going to do this maybe while you're actually upgrading your bathroom anyway. So your costs of putting the toilet in are there. But for $700 or $800, and given the fact we're so space short now, it makes a heck of a lot of sense to do this rather than have that entire separate bidet, which the kids think is a foot bath. Sitting next to them, aka the French ways. So now tell me, your absolute top of the range toilet. Okay, I mean the
Yeah.
EB day looks pretty fancy. What would you have to spend, and what would you get if you were looking if I walked into Robertson and said, Mark, I want the best toilet you can sell me?
Yep. And I would show you the Grower Sensia Arena, which we actually have on display in our showroom. It's a working display. You can't use it obviously because it is in an open showroom and we have people walking by. But we do have all the functions operating in that Sensia Arena in our showroom. That is the Rolls Royce of e-bidet type, or what we call shower toilets from Grower. So that top of the line toilet would set you back at a retail value of around about $7,400, depending on the push plate that you use, because there are variations of push plates on the wall. And they can range anything from $100 odd to a couple of $100. So your whole setup is your pan, your in-wall cistern, and then your push plate. The thing to keep in mind with that particular type of product, Rawdon, is the amount of in-wall room that you require for the in-wall cistern. So traditionally, our walls in a traditional home build are 90 mil wall cavities. This particular cistern requires a 150 mil wall cavity. So again, people just need to do their homework, make sure that everything's fit for purpose. If anybody has any queries, again, as you said before, www.robertson.co.nz, they can call us, they can come into our showroom. We're open during the week, as well as Saturday mornings from 9 to 1, and we have that product on display, as well as a number of other toilets.
So well, actually, I want to ask you a little bit about the considerations before you actually buy the toilet. That's certainly one, which is of great value, because if you get that and suddenly you've got to, I don't know, rebuild the wall or something, or I don't know, it would just be a nightmare. You'd probably end up sending it back. But before we get to that, tell me about, so that's your top of the range e-bidet toilet, all in one, $7,000 worth. What other sort of different types of toilets are you finding really popular at the moment? What are the trends at the moment, and why are they so popular?
Okay, so for people looking for a toilet on a budget, we start with what we call close coupled toilet suites. So that's a toilet suite, which not that particular one there, but I'll get to that one. So the close coupled toilet suite is a toilet suite similar to that, but at the back of that, at the back of the pan, there is a gap. So that's more of our older traditional type of toilets. And, you know, you can pick those up for a little bit over a couple of $100, $250, $300. The one that you had on the screen there is one of our American standard hygiene back-to-wall toilets. So the back-to-wall toilets, as you can see, there is no gap in behind the cistern or the pan. It's flush with the wall. So it gives you a really nice, easy installation and a really good-looking finish. These toilets are available in what we call top water inlet and bottom water inlet. So replacing some existing toilets in older homes, you may have a tap on the wall down low, and you may not want to shift that tap. That's where you would require what we call a bottom water inlet. And for most new installations or renovations where the wall is being ripped off and you're redoing the plumbing, just go top inlet, so it's hidden. So the actual water inlet is from behind the cistern, so everything is nice and tidy, hidden. You've got no little hoses, no taps on the wall that you see that you have to clean. So that's definitely the biggest part of our market at the moment. Back to wall toilets. We've also got the likes of the wall hung toilets, and back to wall pans only with in wall cisterns. I think you've got another slide.
So what sort of depth of, so if you've got, I mean, okay, we know that you were talking to us about this one, that this is the Grower, which you need about 150 mil of wall space. Yeah. What about other standard wall hung pans? How much wall cavity do you need in order to be able to hide all the various plumbing and the systems?
Yep. So your general wall hung pan or back to wall pan, your in-wall cistern for that requires a 90 mil wall cavity, which is a standard wall cavity in the building terms. Yeah. And obviously with a wall hung pan, as you see on screen there, that requires what we call a full frame in-wall cistern. So it has a full metal frame which is set into the wall cavity, and the wall hung pan bolts onto that full frame system, and then you have your push plate, which fixes onto the front of the system. For a back to wall pan only, that's basically exactly the same thing, but it's on the floor. That just requires a standard in-wall system. It's not a full frame. Slightly cheaper way to go for the system, but slightly more expensive way to go with your pan. A lot of people are going wall hung because it's nice and hygienic, easy to clean around the pan, and gives you the illusion of more space in some bathrooms as well. And it does actually take up less space than a standard toilet suite.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I remember when wall hungs were out. I mean, when they first appeared, I don't know whether it was maybe even back in the 80s, and they were really trendy. And then it all seemed to become the sort of smart German sort of a standard shape. But now the wall hung is back in trend again. And,
Yeah,
and you reckon and a lot of that would be about space.
Yeah, we do. We supply a lot of wall hung pans to the industry, especially to the mid higher end of the market. Whether it's residential, commercial, such as hotels, high-end residential as well, apartments. So we've supplied a lot of wall hung pans and back to wall pans. To be fair, I suppose the biggest percentage are your back to wall toilet suites, as we showed before, like the giveaway that we're going to give a lucky.
Yeah, I'll ask you about that in a minute. Oh, Mark, you know, you've given a clue there to a bit of a. We said we were going to have a toilet giveaway, so no, that's quite. I want to ask you about that product in a minute, but first of all, just moving back to the EB Day.
Yep.
I'm just amazed that what is the attraction of them? Why are people suddenly looking at now? Somebody's basically come up with a way to have a B-day without having to take up half your bathroom with a little, with a separate unit. So what is the attraction of having the EB Day?
Easy to use, very hygienic, and obviously with the way that we're a lot more health conscious and conscious about the environment. So the EB Day, so whether it's the Sensi Arena or the EB Day seat, you're not using toilet paper, obviously, because they're called shower toilet for a reason. So they wash, dry, and the Sensi Arena does everything in between. It can be Bluetooth to your phone, and you can have fun with that as well. So, as I said, that's the Rolls Royce. That particular model there is the EB Day from American Standard, the EB Day seat. And again, with the EB Day seats, and the functions incorporated in those seats, they're very hygienic. So the nozzles that come out to clean, etc., they're totally hygienic. They're cleaned every time before and after every single use, and they are coated in a ceramic type finish as well. So very hygienic, and they just do a great job. We've actually got the EB Day seat attached to one of our staff toilets, and a lot of people love it. So they take a little bit longer in there. But
so the staff queue up. So the staff will queue up to use that one cubicle. That's hilarious. Do you know? You just mentioned Bluetooth, because I know that we saw a picture earlier, and I presume this is what goes with the grower. With your Rolls Royce toilet EB Day. You took this. Here we go. Yeah. This is where you can sit a phone on your app and control it rather than actually having to use buttons next to it. So my issue here is, could you control with your app while someone else is sitting on the toilet?
Good question. If someone else is on there and you've got control, then I think that's dangerous, Robert.
I love it. I'm going to get one of these just so I can do this. But no, I go. But obviously, it's a easy to control thing, because the chances are you're sitting on your phone anyway while you're on the toilet nowadays.
I don't know about you. Yeah, whatever you do.
No, anyway, hey, look, Mark, I mentioned the fact you mentioned you've got to be very wary of the wall cavity when you're buying and installing, and that 90 mil or 150 mil. What other considerations do you have to make when you're setting out your bathroom renovation and you're looking at your toilets?
Yeah. So the other thing, when replacing existing toilets, when it comes to a renovation job, obviously the set out of the toilet and the water inlet position is really important. So
you mentioned that, whether it's low or high. Yeah.
And the set out on the floor. So from the wall, from the finished wall to the center of the outlet through the floor. So so there's what we call an S trap and a P trap toilet pan. So S trap goes through the floor, P trap goes through the wall. The biggest concern the biggest thing that people need to be aware of is the S-trap set out from the wall through the floor, because that can vary immensely. And luckily, we have a number of toilets that have variable setouts. So you may have a toilet that's set out for, I don't know, 220 millimeters from the wall to the center of the outlet. We have some toilets in our range which have a variable set out from 140 to 260 or 270 and everything in between there. So it makes the plumber's job a lot easier. But it is something that people need to be aware of, just to make sure that they're getting the right measurements. All the measurements for all of our toilets are on our website. That's the most current source of information. So the outlet through the floor, the water inlet through the back of the wall, and obviously if the wall's coming off and flooring's being redone, it's not so much of an issue. But concrete floors, they're pretty hard to change. So yeah, just again, do your homework.
Is there any advantage or disadvantage to an S trap or a P trap? Does it really matter, as long as you just know you're putting the right one in?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it really comes down to what's there. Yeah. So with renovations, obviously sometimes you may or may not be able to change the outlet for a particular reason. It may be something to do with the cladding on the wall. It may be something to do with what's in the wall. It may be something to do with your flooring. So that's where Refresh Renovations are the experts in making sure that the products are fit for purpose, and we make sure that we.
And they'll work pretty closely with you. But as you said, otherwise they can jump onto the robertson.co.nz website and have a look at all the various machinations. And there you go, robertson.co.nz on our screen now. Okay, final question.
Yep.
What do you think of the Heron Hygiene rimless toilet? And there's no specific reason why I'm asking you that, except for the fact you might have given us one to give away.
Have I? Yes, yeah, I have actually. We've so I haven't, but Robertson have. So Robertson have come to the party for World Toilet Day, which you mentioned was yesterday. So in recognition of World Toilet Day, what better thing to do than for us to give away a toilet? So we're giving away one of the new American Standard Heron Hygiene rimless toilets, and it's a true rimless toilet, which I spoke about before. Yeah. Retail value of just on $1,000. So I think you're going to talk about how the lucky listeners can enter that, and one lucky listener will walk away with one of those. Yeah. So it's a bloody good toilet. That is a great giveaway, Mark. That is a superb giveaway.
Even if you're not renovating your bathroom, it'll just look great in the corner of the garage until you do renovate your bathroom. So well worth entering. But that's awesome, Mark. Thank you very much indeed for giving us some time today and for joining us to celebrate World Toilet Day, because it's a very important day, particularly in the plumbing business. But yeah, good to see you, Mark. You have a great rest of the year if we don't see you again this year. But you never know, we might have time to squeeze in another plumbing and tapware session. But for now, best of luck, mate, and we'll catch you soon.
All good. Cheers, Rod, and have a good day.
No worries. Awesome. Good to see you, Mark. So as Mark said, that Robertson have been really awesome. They've come to the party. They've given us that Heron Hygiene rimless toilet suite to give away, $1,000 worth. The ultimate in hygiene. I had no idea that this technology even existed. So it's obviously fairly new stuff. So to win this, or to go into the draw to win it, like our page and tell us, when was Robertson Bathware founded? All right. Bit of a Google search will tell you pretty fast. When was Robertson Bathware founded? And like our page, we will announce the winners on the 4th of December, 2 weeks time. Okay. And today we're going to announce the winner of our Weber barbecue, the Baby Q1000 barbecue given to us by Outdoor. You had to tell us what your next outdoor project was going to be. And our winner is, and this is a great prize for the summer, Rebecca Sanford. Congratulations, Rebecca. That is coming out to you. Awesome prize. It can be used either at home, in the back of the car, camping, whatever. And as I've said, and it has nothing to do with, Weber's never endorsed my comments at all, but I'll endorse them and say that I've got a Weber at home and it is the best barbecue I've ever owned. So well done, Rebecca. You'll enjoy that. Now, finally, this Friday, the top 10 Friday, top 10 is top 10 staircases. And at number 10, that is absolutely stunning. How did that not come in at number 1? And I think the staircase is stunning as well. That's such a lame middle-aged male joke, isn't it? So that is the reimagined staircase, architecturally beautiful. At number 9, well, these stairs have added a stunning feature to this room using symmetry, shape, and light. Isn't that cool? Number 8, great use of space, something which would have come out of supervillain's lair. That's amazing. Stairs are no longer boring, are they? Number 7. Well, this shared staircase is practical, but still visually appealing, and that really clever the way you can use the stairs become your shelving as well. Number 6. This is a desert-inspired indoor garden encompassed by a geometric stair that looks like it's hanging from the ceiling. Isn't that clever? I bet there's a lot of tidying to do in the sand. If you've got a cat, they'd kick that up, wouldn't they? Or a dog or children. And number 5, this is another indoor garden that uses a thinner staircase to get to the top level. Great use of space there. That's fantastic. Number 4, this is from an office block in Seoul in Korea, using a thin wooden staircase that leads to an outdoor oasis, as you can see, to hide away from the city. This building only uses external staircases, none indoors at all. And number 3, top 3 best staircases we could find. Well, this is a bit like a Jurassic Park, a metal staircase blending in with the greenery around it. At number 2, a crazy staircase out of a video game. Isn't that amazing? You'd be slightly tentative about walking on it, but you can. So each step is sort of hanging from the wall out from the side. And number 1, the craziest, coolest staircase we could find was the Clapster, the folding staircase for effective use of space. That is truly brilliant innovation. Unless you forget to unfold it before you go down the stairs. You'd only forget that once. Really good to see you here live from the Hastings Club in the Hawke's Bay, in the beautiful Hawke's Bay. We'll see you again live from Auckland, same time next week. A lot of fun. See you then. Bye-bye.